Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Mining Insider. Wow, I'm hearing an echo in here. That's right, my crypto mining farm is absolutely down right now. All my rigs are offline, and that is because I'm kind of doing a rig makeover thanks to having to do an electricity upgrade. I've been kind of holding off on doing this for a while, been running rigs off of extension cords when I can, but now I finally had the electrician come and he just put in a whole nother sub panel, so I'm gonna be able to get all these rigs finally back running in here. It's so different being able to hear a room that's kind of quiet. You hear an echo compared to hearing the sounds of the fans running. To me, I kind of hear the sounds of money when that's running. So I can't wait to get this farm back up and going. I got some exciting updates planned. So if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to press down on that subscribe button. Stick with me and let's go take a look at what we're doing. Up till this point, I've been very constrained and power limited on expanding and utilizing my mining farm to its potential. I was limited to using a single PDU. It was 240 volts, but I could only get about 5,700 usable watts out of it after considering the 80% ratio. That and a couple of regular 120 volt outlets was kind of limited on how far I could grow with my farm. I occasionally found myself running some very heavy gauge extension cords around the house, which is not very convenient. And now that we're finally hitting the summertime here, it's getting very hot. I want to be able to use the house, the air conditioning again. So shifting my rigs back into my mining farm, into my garage area is really essential to be able to have decent quality of life as well as keep my cards running cool. So I had the electrician come in and install a sub panel. He didn't have any more room in the primary panel. That's kind of maxed out already. There was no more room. So he installed a 100 amp sub panel. This sub panel, I have additional breakers and I was able to get an additional 240 volt, 30 amp. So now I'll finally be able to run two of these, essentially doubling what my current load is. And he also put in another 20 amp circuit for 120. So altogether, totally in this room, I'll have about almost 15,000 available watts of safe electricity to use. It's really important to point out too, a licensed electrician did this. I am not an electrician. I do not do my own electrical work when it comes with that, so I always consult a pro. And this way, I want to make sure I'm safe. So I suggest you do the same, get yourself a licensed pro. Although I love having this sub panel, unfortunately, because the way the wires were in the wall, I couldn't get the sub panel sunk in. So it's kind of like not so pretty or not so attractive looking. I'm gonna have to probably do some cosmetic work to it, maybe end up making a frame or something around it so it looks like it's at least decent where it kind of belongs here. It looks a little bit too industrial if you ask me for right now, but at least it'll serve our purpose. Now at least I have this extra 30 amp 240 circuit, so I'm really excited because having this new power really opens up the door for a lot more possibilities. I have cards I haven't been able to use, rigs I haven't been able to even use on here. Let me show you. With all this added power, it really opens up the doors for a lot of possibilities for me. I've been working on expanding my farm even before we had the downturn in crypto. So I plan to keep holding firm, stay calm in mine on. And one of my recent additions I just got is an Octominer. So this is actually the X8 Ultra. I'm gonna open it up right in front of you. Let's take a look together. So this is actually my very first Octominer. And it took a while to get here. I'm very excited about this, and now being able to have this additional power coming in, I should be able to run this. Wow, this looks great. Very impressive. 4 power supplies on it. Okay, so I finally got it out of the box, and wow, it looks great. I don't see any dents or damage, so it seems to be well packaged. I actually took out the back screws already, and now let's just pop this. Lid's open, and voila, inside of the case is open. This is the inside of an Octominer. The Ultra Plus 8 has 4 power supply units, so I think I have about 3,000 watts of power. 4 very large server-sized fans. They seem to be noisy from what I'm understanding, but I think we can tune them. I'm gonna be covering this whole Octominer case on a whole separate video. See, I have a bunch of RTX 3080s, and they're running pretty hot considering the climate and the environment I'm in right now. And I can't wait to get them in here and see if pushing that extra ventilation that supposedly this Octominer gives me is really gonna help out with my thermal temperature. I'm gonna be covering that in a totally separate video, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. But it doesn't just end there. I have more. Come with me. One of the next projects I'm very excited about is rebuilding a rig and actually building some new rigs. See, in the past I've always built my rig frames myself. I would actually go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I pick up some aluminum and wood, and it would take like probably a half a day to do it right. And by the time I was done, it was pretty costly, especially with the cost of raw materials now. For me to even home make a rig would cost me over $100, $120 just to make a rig frame like you've seen in my past videos. But now I got these new AAA wave frames. I actually have 4 of them. And this is actually the Sluice V2. And it's amazing. This whole GPU frame comes in this thin little box. I guess it makes it more efficient for shipping. It's great because now I can focus my time on actually building the rigs and not really building the rig frames. So I'm going to be covering this more in some future videos. I have a bunch of new Founders Edition cards here, there's some there and some there. So I'm excited about doing that, plus some AMD. And I plan to be putting 2 across here, probably another 2 there. So we're going to have 4 of these frames running. And I think each one of these has a capacity of 12 GPUs, believe it or not. And I also have some new EVGA 1600 watt power supplies. I actually got the titaniums. I'll cover that in a separate video too. There's some cards. I'm gonna have to be building some more power meters. So if you've seen my channel in the past, I've had these Space Ghost power meters. I know there's some others that are on the market. I always like to monitor how much wattage I'm using on my different rigs or the different setups. But now by doubling all my power, it's really the sky is the limit. I can finally get everything running. And I know I'm gonna have to start taking a look at what I'm gonna be doing with the heat as well as ventilation. I have a lot to cover, and I definitely plan to be sharing that with you in the future videos. Now that I have my electricity all set and I'm all ready to start putting my rigs in, it's the perfect time while everything is apart for me to do a quick spring cleaning of my rigs. And since I'm constantly circulating a lot of air across the rigs to keep them vented, a lot of dust and lint will quickly build up on here. Even if the cards look clean sometimes, just looking at them visually, you'd be surprised sometimes a big cloud of dust will come out of it. From what I've read is it's not good to vacuum your electronics. It can actually cause static electricity. So I actually use a little blower fan. This is actually something I seen on Red Panda's channel, and it worked out great. So thumbs up to Red Panda for suggesting this. All you have to do is across your rigs, hold the fans and then apply and blow it. And you'll be surprised sometimes at the plumes of dust that'll blow off of them. So normally I'll hold the cards so they don't spin, and I'll blow across the fans and I'll blow across the face. And then I'll do the same thing on the motherboard, also holding that cooling fan. Let me show you. Once the graphic cards are cleaned and blown out, I usually go to the power supplies, as well as the motherboard. And you'd be surprised how much dust is usually in here. I'll usually do something to hold the fan, but always be careful to remove it. Here we go. I finally finished cleaning off all my rigs and getting them back on their shelving, doing all the wiring, and I found there was a way for me to even do some improvements. So this turned out to be a really long but very productive day for me. I was able to get all my rigs back together, utilizing this new power, which has me very, very excited because now I have more room to grow and expand, or at least tune my rigs even a little bit better. And I realized too is my network switch is only an 8-port switch, so I'm going to have to be updating it. And I just picked up this Netgear. It's an 16-port switch, so I'll have a lot of room to actually even put up to 8 more devices. I don't think I'll grow that fast, but who knows? Sky's the limit. And mining right now is just going to be just an endurance game, I think. Profitability and revenue is down, but I'm still mining full steam, and I'm going to do the best I can to optimize my equipment and use what I have to the best of my ability. There's also some other things too. We're looking at mining some other altcoins. I reached out to some industry professionals and gotten some very receptive and positive feedback. So hopefully we'll have some new exciting interviews too. As that comes about, I'll be sharing that with you. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and hopefully by the next time you see me, this rig will be noisy and making money again, which is what it should be doing. I just kind of want to give you a quick update on this Memorial Day weekend, and I want to go check out that new Top Gun movie. I heard it's really great. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to press down on that subscribe button. See you on the next video. Happy mining!